Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 1477, written by Markofshame, the Mercedes that vanished with the storm. Driving home on a stormy day, I see that a side road up to the local golf course is blocked off by a flashing barricade. I also spy a Mercedes parked past the barricades with its hazards on. I stop and walk up to the car to see if they need help. I'm an EMT. I shine my light in the back seat to see a man slumped over, apparently asleep. Thinking I've got a few drunks, I move up to the driver window and rap on the glass and shine my light in. The driver is sitting bolt upright, unmoving, staring straight ahead. My window rapping or light doesn't cause him to blink, flinch or move. I look over and the passenger is slumped forward onto the dash. This begins to creep me out. I call down to the sheriff's station and request a code 2, no lights or sirens, unit up to my location to help me check them out. Doors are locked. While on the phone, I walk back to my truck to get my go bag. I'm on phone with dispatch. She asked me to get the license number for the car just as a PG&E power company cherry picker truck comes tumbling down from up the closed road. I move to go around the truck to get the plate number and the car is gone. I talked to the driver of the truck and he said there was an 80-foot tree down across the road and that he didn't think it'd be open for a day or so. So the question is, the hell did the car go? Tree up one way, barricades down the other. It's kept me a little unsettled when stopping at accidents and hazards since then. Case notes of file 1477, the Mercedes that vanished with the storm. This seems like the universe can be a sleight of hand master. It's like a magic trick. Look one way, and then in the next moment, Schrodinger's cat kicks in, and the car is gone. I think it's a kind of trick the universe is playing on us. Not malicious, but trickery. Case file number 1478, written by RockerChicksRule, how my debit card defied time and space. In June of 2018, my daughter and I walked up the road a quarter of a mile away to the local Waffle House for breakfast. Since we were walking, I only took a house key and my debit card and placed them in my jeans pocket. After breakfast, we walked up to the cashier with the ticket. I paid for the meal. Then we left and proceeded to walk back home. When we were almost home, I reached into my pants pocket to grab my key to unlock the door and noticed my debit card was not with my key. I panicked, so we turned around before unlocking the door and went back to the Waffle House to see if I left the card with the cashier. We walked quickly back, also looking along the side of the road in case I dropped it. Once we got back to the Waffle House, the cashier said she gave me my card back to me, and no one had turned in a card possibly found on the floor. I felt sick, and all I could think of was hurrying back home and calling the credit card company to cancel my card. We proceeded back towards home again, and finally made it home. I unlocked the door and walked past the kitchen, and I noticed, from the corner of my eye, a piece of paper folded on the countertop. After opening the paper, I was shocked to discover that it was my receipt from the Waffle House wrapped around my debit card. The card and receipt were back home before I made it home. Just so you know, my daughter was walking behind me when I unlocked the door and entered the house, so she didn't have time to place my card and receipt in the kitchen if it was some sort of prank. What the hell? Case notes file 1478. How my debit card defied time and space. Again, it's like Schrodinger's cat. You both existed back home after returning and didn't. But until you opened the door in this reality, it wasn't solidified. So the door was out of sight, and the debit card and the receipt it was wrapped in were inside and weren't. It all depends on perspective and if the waveform has collapsed. If no one is in there, what just didn't collapse? And I think it's more to do with soul perception. So, a lot of things can interact with matter, but not necessarily collapse the waveform. It's like the question, does a tree make a sound in the forest if no one else is around to hear it? Probably not. I don't think the universe even renders it in that case. Case file number 1479, written by Euphoric Client 1075, the Clementine that broke the universe. This happened in 2011 or 2012, and I can't talk about it without tearing up because I just don't know. I was in high school sociology class. I sat next to my friend Jane, who was notorious for having a crap ton of snacks every day. Small girl, fast metabolism probably. One of her go-tos were clementines, usually bringing one each day and wrapped in a paper towel and kept in her bag, which was like a tote messenger-style bag. It stood up on its own and everything. I don't know if that's even relevant. So class is starting and she ate her clementine. I'm annoyed, so I asked her for a slice and we split the clementine. She walked the peel and paper towel to the trash can by our teacher's desk and threw it away. This is all normal. Then she gets back to her desk and reaches down to get her stuff for class and suddenly sits straight up. I'm not sure really how to describe her face except for that she really looked like she saw a ghost. She asked me if she had just eaten her clementine and I'm like, yeah? And I look over and there's clearly a clementine wrapped in a paper towel in her bag where it's usually kept. I immediately was like, oh, you obviously just mistakenly packed two, or didn't eat the one you packed yesterday, etc. She was adamant that wasn't the case and went to the trash can. Then she starts reaching in the trash can and sorting through. Trash? I'm like, Jane, what the hell are you doing? So I go over there and look, and sure enough, there's no clementine peel in there. It's just not there. It has been less than a minute since I watched her throw it in this exact trash can. It was one of those little trash cans, and we emptied it out. By this point, we were losing our minds, sitting on the ground stammering, trying to blame each other for whatever the hell was happening. Our teacher noticed and let us sit out the rest of the class because we were so distraught. The peel was just completely gone. I don't know if it's possible she had a second clementine in her bag all along, but I know 100% that clementine number 1 was eaten and the peel was thrown away. I know it's a small thing, but there really is no explanation. It truly changed my perspective about reality. Question file 1479. The clementine that broke the universe. So quite simply, this is the best kind of glitch. The kind of glitch where food is reproduced. Maybe stolen from other universes, and the me's in those universes won't have it, but I'm okay with that. Screw them. If I get over there, I'll be unhappy. Or I guess I won't, because I won't even really care. I mean, it'll already have passed and happened, so who cares? I guess, though, it means that they can steal from me in this universe, so, maybe I shouldn't, but Subway's too tempting. If I order 3 footlongs, which is a standard affair for me, good little snack, I would love to get 4, or even 6. Boy, that'd be a dream. The great universal heists. And now time for the quote of the day. Anger is a puppeteer that makes your mouth work faster than your mind. Evan S.R. We've all been there before, right? When we're in a fight with someone, or just an argument that gets heated, and then we realize, oh, I just said something I don't actually mean. The problem is then, typically ego takes over, pride, and you can't admit that what you said was incorrect, it's not really what you meant. Maybe after the fact, but never in the moment, right? Very difficult to say in the moment. Well, the fight is still going on, and you said something mean, so they say something mean back, and fire begets fire, right? Violence begets violence. Applies to anything. Fighting fire with fire generally doesn't work well. Same thing with anger. Fighting anger with anger doesn't work well. And I'm not saying that you're a bad person if you do it, because we're all human. No one's perfect, right? I'm certainly not. It bears saying that we should try to be. Even though we can never measure up to perfection, we should still aim to. Shoot for the stars. Be happy for the moon. Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell. Kinetic Symphony signing off.